Okay, next practice problem. Which of these choices best supports the claim graph B is a function, graph A is not? Okay, well, these are pictures, so we should be using the vertical line test. A not, it touches twice. B touches once. Let's see if they have that. B contains only positive values. That has nothing to do with anything. We don't care if they're positive or negative. Okay, they don't talk about the vertical line test, so now we're looking for X values. X does not repeat. And I write it down for myself just so I can kind of know what I'm looking for. Do any of these choices talk about X values not repeating? Graph A contains the point 2, 1.4, and 2, negative 1.4. So this is saying A has an X value that repeats. So yeah, that's why A is not a function. It has an X value that doesn't repeat. B doesn't have any Y values don't matter when you're determining a function. D is also talking about Y values. We don't care about Y values when we are determining if something is a function. So choice B is the only one that makes sense. They tried to be tricky because they didn't write out the word X value, but they gave you the ordered pairs, and you should know that this is an X and this is an X, so you have X's repeating. So they made you kind of do a little extra thinking step there. Okay, this is our last practice problem. We have Dylan and Beatrice. They're working with the same function. Dylan put negative 8 into the function and got an output of 8. Which statement must be true? Now, before I do this, I'm going to go ahead and just put this in a way that makes sense to me so I know what happened, okay? He had an input and an output. He put in a negative 8, and he got an 8 as his output. So what happened to negative 8 to get it to equal positive 8? So he took his X value and he added 16 to it. Okay, I might not need all this information, but I just want to make sure that I've thought it through before I try to figure out an answer. So which statement must be correct? If Beatrice puts negative 8 into the function, she could get an output of negative 8. So for this to be a function, can I have this? No, I cannot have X values repeating, so that can't work. If she puts negative 8 into the function, she must get 8. Yes, this has to stay the same. Can't change it. Negative 8 can't have any other output. If she puts positive 8, she must get negative 8. Let's see. Positive 8 plus 16 is not going to give me negative 8, so no. If she puts 8 in, she must get an output of 8. That's not going to work either. So this is why it was helpful for me to do this, because if you don't know what the rule is of your table, then you might not know how to answer C or D, okay? Second part, in the situation above, which statement could never be true? How do you know? Which statement could never be true? Okay, well, I know for sure that I cannot have any X's repeating. So this right here can never, 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 never be true. These, maybe my rule is wrong. Maybe they're doing some other crazy magical math where 8's going to give you negative 8. They're not going to add 16 to it. We don't necessarily know, but we know for sure you cannot have any X values repeating. So the one that cannot be true is A. A cannot be true because the input of negative 8 can only have one output. And we know that output is 8. You might also say it cannot be true because the input of negative 8 cannot repeat, or, no X values can repeat. Any rendition of that will get you full credit. It is time for the exit ticket. Please take your work. Please show your work. Take your time, show your work, map it out, do the vertical line test, whatever you need to do to make sure you're answering these questions correctly.